Hey everyone, this is Natalie Wynn with Salon vs.Marketingtools.com, and today I want to talk with you about article marketing versus blog posts. They're very similar. They have I'm going to say, minor differences between the two. Article marketing usually is just more words, using more words in your content than blog posts. A great example would be if you create an article, it would at least need to be about 350 to 500 words. A blog post can be less than 350 words. Now, there are some advantages when you're creating your articles versus just creating a quick blog post saying, hey, I went to the store today, I did someone's hair, it was great, and my client left out the salon feeling absolutely gorgeous. That would be like a short blog post. An article is going to be something that has a lot more content to it. It's going to be quality content. Maybe it's how-to tips, it's hair care tips, or hair loss issues. Whatever it is you specialize in, you'll probably go more in depth when you are actually creating an article. Both of these things are submitted on your site via your blog post, so via your blog submission. So the same way you create an article and the same way you create a blog post. You would just write it out and post it onto your blog. Let me tell you, the great part about creating articles versus just always creating a quick blog post is that your articles can be used in other directories. When I say directories, there are things like ezonarticles.com. Another one is, I believe, articledashboard.com. All of those articles that you've written, you can actually submit them to these sites and get credit. The great part about getting credit from a site like Ezon Articles is that it just establishes you more as an expert in your field. With a blog post, you can't really submit a short blog post to these article directories simply because it's not long enough. Most article directories are going to want your article to be at least, I would say, 400 words. So that's why you want to stay between 350 to 500 words. Now, I know you may be thinking, well, what if I write an article that's, ends up being 1,000 words? The first thing I'm going to tell you is cut that in half. Go ahead and make that 2 articles. Instead of just submitting it one time on your blog, break it up into 2 separate articles. And that way you have 2 articles to submit to the article directories as well. Make sure when you post your article, even on your website, via blog, of course, that there is an association or a link to your name. So an example is when I write my articles, I always, have a signature at the bottom that says "To Your Success" or "To Our Success, Natalie." That basically says, hey, I've written this blog post. You can also, if you're using the WordPress platform, go into your settings and make sure the author setting says your name. The reason why you want to do this is because when you submit to directories like Articles Dashboard and Ezon Articles, they will only accept you if it is your article. If they don't know if it's your article, meaning if you didn't actually create the article, more than likely they're going to reject it. So you don't want that. The other part about articles, whenever you're trying to submit them to other article directories, is that you want to make sure your content is original. It needs to be original and it needs to be quality content. You can't copy someone else's work and submit it. And actually, you don't want to do that anyway. You don't want to copy anyone's work and put it on your website as well, unless you're using it as a reference of some sort. The other tip I have to give you is, obviously make sure your article is between 350 and 500 words. Anything shorter than 350, you're kind of skating on a thin line when it comes to getting that submission from Ezon Articles or Articles Dashboard. Let me tell you, when you submit to some place like Ezon Articles and Article Dashboard and they accept your article, you actually have a backlink, which is great for your site. So they'll actually link from your article back to your site, and that's great for search engine ranking. Let's see, what else about article marketing versus blog posts? A lot of times, whenever you're creating your articles or whenever you're creating a blog, you want to make sure you put a picture some type of picture inside of it, simply because people are drawn to images. They are more likely to read your information if you have an image there versus just simply text. Other than that, these are some great tips I hope that you found helpful for creating your articles and also knowing the difference between an article and a blog post. I personally prefer to write more articles just because it helps more from a search engine ranking standpoint with Google. Blog posts are great in the sense that it keeps me constantly updating my website, and anytime you have followers following your site or following what you do, that keeps you in the loop as far as every other day they can expect some type of fresh content. So even if it's a blog post, it's still good. You want to be consistent in whatever it is you're doing, but try to focus on creating some longer quality article contents as well. Make sure they're original. Anything else, then you're good to go. So I hope this was helpful. Again, if you have any comments or if you have some suggestions, definitely leave them down below. Again, I'm Natalie with SalonBusinessMarketingTools.com, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.